Trade between Canada and the United States has reached the stage where the issue is being posed aloud. Will Canada ditch the United States for its automobile and metal exports and strengthen relations with the European Union? One Canadian member of Parliament went so far as to suggest that if Trump's threats persist, he will impose a 100% tax on Elon Musk's Tesla. Can they really go that far? How reasonable is it for Canada to consider the European Union as an alternative? Let's look at how all this stress affects roadways, metal industries, and even businesses like Tesla. We shall now throw light on the solutions to all of these important issues. Before we begin, please help us by subscribing to our channel and setting on alerts. For many years, Canada was the United States' closest commercial partner. They traded a wide range of goods, including vehicles, steel, aluminum, and dairy products. However, Washington's current protectionist stance has forced Ottawa into a corner. The U.S. president stunned Ottawa by saying that he may slap tariffs of up to 100% on Canadian autos and metals. Furthermore, others argue that if this does not work, we should investigate other options. In reaction, the Canadian side stated, "If you treat us this way, we will impose the same tariffs on American brands." The most unexpected target looks to be Tesla. A top Canadian politician caused a sensation by declaring, "We will retaliate surgically. We will impose a 100% tax on Trump's favorite brand, Tesla." The reason Tesla has been picked out is clear. This brand is one of the pinnacles of the American electric vehicle revolution, with significant symbolic importance. The argument is that if we attack Tesla, it will cause a significant commotion in U.S. internal politics. As a result, this is viewed as an effort to boost Canada's negotiating position in the automobile industry. However, can Canada truly pivot toward closer collaboration with the European Union? This is the most important question. According to Canada's trade figures, the United States remains its largest and nearest market. Logistically, the two nations are neighbors, and billion-dollar flows in the automobile and metal industries continue. The notion that it is so easy to leave the United States is not unwarranted. However, according to Canadian media, Ottawa claims that our hands are not restricted in a hypothetical trade war since we already have a comprehensive deal known as CETA with the European Union. While the European Union is physically distant, it is not subject to protectionist policies. Some European commentators argue that trade deals between the European Union and Canada are far superior to Trump's proposed tariffs. Nonetheless, economists recognize that it would be impossible for the European Union market to totally replace the United States. Transportation expenses, different standards, and physical distance all provide substantial impediments. Still, Canada seeks to demonstrate that it has a backup plan. It is exploring closer links with Europe, notably in metals, to see if it can offset any tax increases from the United States. Is this a bluff? It is unquestionably a powerful diplomatic card. If Washington feels Canada has no options, it is misguided. While Canada may not cut connections altogether, partially opening up to the European Union might provide some respite. Tesla has a unique position in the prospective trade war and tariff battle. Its inclusion in this conflict is no coincidence. Tesla represents U.S. technological innovation. At the same time, it has established a strong client base in Canada and is exploring the possibilities of producing or getting raw materials there. Tesla now faces the potential of high tariffs. If action is taken, Tesla's Canadian pricing might skyrocket and sales may abruptly halt. This would not only harm the brand's market share in North America, but it would also spark controversy in U.S. internal politics. Why is there such a conflict with Canada? Tesla's backers have significant political power. Canada has an abundance of mineral resources. Minerals essential for electric car batteries, such as lithium and nickel, are found here. Companies like Tesla intended to shorten their supply chains by acquiring these minerals from the U.S. side of the border. This option is jeopardized as tensions rise. Canada is effectively saying, If you impose a 100% tax on me, I will respond to your automobile industry and sell these resources elsewhere. Automobile production is a massive puzzle. Some components are manufactured in Canada, while others are made in Mexico or Asia. Steel and aluminum may originate in Canadian factories before being assembled in the American Midwest. Eventually, the completed vehicle may be sold back in Canada. This cycle is a collaborative effort on both sides of the border. If an excessive tax of 100% is imposed, the entire structure collapses. Manufacturing expenditures rise, and so do consumer prices. American buyers would wonder why a car's price has risen by $5,000 or $10,000. Canadians would rue the fact that factories have been forced to close and unemployment has risen dramatically. Both sides might lose. Nonetheless, some are motivated by appeals for national security or protectionism. On the Canadian side, the answer is, where else can we sell our products outside the United States? It might be the European Union or Asian markets. However, Asia is far away, and there are no free trade agreements with Korea, Japan, or China. The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement appears to improve the European Union's prospects. As a result, the driving notion is to deepen our connections with Europe, which may pressure the U.S. to talk. Could EU-Canada collaboration counteract American influence? The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement is a bold agreement that essentially removes tariffs between Canada and the European Union. It ideally aspires for free commerce, albeit there are several hurdles on the way to complete realization. If Canada sets its sights on Europe for metals and automotive exports, it may face competition from a number of producers. The benefit is that the European Union does not impose high tariffs on Canada. Canada, sick of arbitrary tariffs, may argue that at least we do not face such hurdles. Furthermore, the EU's population of approximately 500 million people represents a large market. Nonetheless, it is not as handy or accessible as the United States. Transportation costs and shipment times both climb. Nonetheless, from Canada's standpoint, it is a way of reacting to the American position. In industries such as steel and aluminum, there is talk of possible collaboration between Canada and the European Union. For example, green steel projects and low-carbon production. Under this scenario, Europe and Canada might work together on more sustainable approaches. If the United States becomes entrenched in protectionism, Canada and the European Union may create a joint bloc strategy. In such a case, Canadian car parts may appeal to European Union manufacturers. German or French automakers may contemplate sourcing metals and components from Canada, thereby circumventing the United States. However, the friction between Canada and the United States has far-reaching consequences. Mexico is also engaged, as the North American car sector is tightly interwoven under what was once known as NAFTA and is now known as the USMCA. Steel, aluminum, and automobile parts constantly cross borders. If high tariffs were imposed on Canadian automobiles, Mexican manufacturing would also suffer the consequences. The European Union may respond, if Trump pushes Canada this far, we will accelerate fresh discussions with Canada. Some European leaders may say, hastening a probable separation of global trade blocs. This might spark a new global trade war. Canada refers to this point. Global commerce has entered a new era, and I am not alone. In the short term, completely withdrawing from the American market presents too many hazards for Canada. Proximity to that market is quite beneficial, and geographical proximity is a significant benefit. However, using the European Union as a backup plan is an option. Although it will be difficult due to tough competition in Europe, high shipping costs, and the absence of a simple equivalent for the United States, Canada is sending a message. Do not underestimate me. There is always a door to Europe. This remark is an important negotiating weapon in diplomatic conversations. Trade conflicts can yield a large number of losers and few winners. A lengthy battle may hurt consumers in both Canada and the United States. Prices may rise, industries would close, and political tensions would worsen. As a result, the common resolution is compromise. There was a comparable crisis over steel earlier, and after applying retaliatory tariffs, the two sides reached common ground. Perhaps we will see a scenario in which Canadian vehicle exports do not face the entire 100% tax, but the United States receives some perks. Meanwhile, Canada may not fully apply its Tesla tax, or may do so with restrictions. However, the conflict is unlikely to be resolved in the near future. Which scenario seems more likely? Is it true that Canada would quit the United States and shift to Europe? Or is this just a bluff to acquire negotiation leverage? And may Tesla get caught in the midst, with devastating consequences? Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, enable alerts, and hit the like button. We may soon see the next phase of the automobile and metal fight. Goodbye.